Music is universal. No matter what type of entertainment it is, it'll most likely have music. Music is a form of expression, and it is used to convey emotions in certain scenes where it is necessary, to add that extra push that it needs to really send the message home, whether that be a happy tone, a sad tone, or another tone. Gaming is no different. Since games were created, they have always had some sort of music. This form of music has changed drastically over the years, with some changes bringing amazing soundtracks that could even pass for music that you could listen to on the street, and some others not so much. Today, I want to highlight some of the best examples of amazing music that games have brought out, and if you've seen my videos before, a few games may come to mind. This video is a sort of extension on my video on gaming's best art styles. I love the idea of appreciating games for their best qualities to really see what makes these games so special. If you would like to see more of these types of videos, make sure to let me know in the comments, or if another video that I have made is your favorite, I would love to know that as well so I can make more of those. So, without further ado, let's get into the games that I think have the most captivating soundtracks, not just in video games, but in media as a whole. If you've even seen one of my videos before, you know exactly what game is coming, considering it's in the background of almost every single video I've made to date. Persona. Now I could talk about the entire series, but specifically in this video I want to highlight the soundtrack of Persona 3 Reload. This is my first Persona game, and it's the Persona game that I listen to the music from the most. A lot of times when I listen to the Persona soundtracks, it feels like a playlist made to feel like a game sometimes, but other times feel like a song you just listen to while walking down the street. And I'm not saying you can't listen to game music while walking down the street, but I'm saying on average most people will not be listening to game music while walking down the street. That mix of feeling makes the game really stand out to me. Sometimes, it's the ambient music that adds just a little bit of extra flavor to the game. Other times, it's the music that takes the center stage and makes you feel like you're in a music video for the song. Examples of this would be the Iwatodai dorm soundtrack, which kind of lingers in the background while you round up your day, deciding if you want to go to the tower or not that night, while other songs, such as It's Going Down Now and Burn My Dread, make you feel like you're in an action movie. The perfect example of this would be my videos. I don't know if I've released a video recently without at least one song being from this game, or at least the series as a whole. It just works so well as background music. If there's ever a time I'm editing a video and I don't know what music to use, most of the time I'll just look up Persona OST and try to find a song from there because it's really never let me down. Moving on to an example that better fits that gaming feel when it comes to music is the Legend of Zelda series. For this one, I couldn't pick a specific game because there's lots of games that reuse and or remix pre-existing songs from the franchise. But there are songs that are from specific games that haven't been reused, and they also work great for background music, which of course is what it is used for in the actual series. Some of my favorite tracks include the Song of Storms, the Breath of the Wild Gerudo Valley music, Zelda's Lullaby, and the Forest Temple theme from Ocarina of Time. Those are just a few examples that I could come up with, but there's many good tracks from this series because of how long-stemming the series is, but also due to how good Koji Kondo is at producing music. I have always loved how much each Zelda game has a different group of instruments that are at the core of the music they make for that game, depending on what the theme of the game is. It adds this layer, especially to the songs that are reused/remixed, because they sound unique, while also still following that carbon copy of that Zelda formulaic music. Examples of this are the harps and whimsical winds instruments in the Skyward Sword, the more elegant piano in Breath of the Wild, and the unsettling reversed instruments of Tears of the Kingdom. My absolute favorite part about this is that no matter what type of instrument they use, you can still immediately recognize that it's from a Zelda game. And there aren't very many games that can do that, and that's where I feel Nintendo really stands out among other gaming companies. And they always have. Their music is really encapsulating when they inspired music and how it would play a part in gaming as a whole, and that's why their reputation is as high as it is in that aspect. I truly believe that the goal of Zelda's music is just to blend into the background so much to where you don't even really hear it unless you intentionally listen for it. The reason I think this is because the amount of times I've played Zelda games and afterward had a song stuck in my head, not knowing which part it was from, only to go back and figure out that it had been playing in my ears in the background of the dungeon for however long it took me to beat it. Alright, so while I was writing this script, something really important came out and I just had to point it out because it was so relevant to this topic, and it's that Nintendo just announced that it's starting its own music service where you can finally listen to Nintendo tracks without worrying about them getting taken down because of Nintendo's crazy copyright strikes that they throw on these channels. And I'm not here to say it's a good or bad thing because I can see both sides of that argument, but what I do know is that I like listening to the songs, so the more outlets that it has, the happier I am. The next pick is one that I don't think just jumps out at you when you think of best game music. I think it has to be brought up, but when it is, It's almost unanimous that the music in the game is almost at the same level or on par with the game it's always compared to. Of course, I'm talking about Terraria. Like Zelda, Terraria has no lyrics or words in any of the songs, or at least intelligible lyrics. Terraria and Minecraft have a similar feeling to each other when it comes to music. Whenever a track comes on, when you're just walking around in an area of your world, it can make you stop playing the game and just listen. It brings out that nostalgia, and it's practically untouched by any other games for me. Now, there are games that can invoke nostalgia for me, but nothing on the level of these two giant games. The reason I highlight Terraria over Minecraft is really just because everyone knows that Minecraft's music is top notch, and because the games aren't even that similar, they just happen to have blocky graphics and the survival game premise. I catch myself thinking different Terraria songs in my head when situations happen, and sometimes it's kind of funny because the situation almost always fits the song that's playing in my head. I think that memes have also boosted how popular Terraria songs are, because I've heard them constantly, and even if you don't know that the song is from Terraria, if you hear it when you're playing the game, you'll have an epiphany, like, oh yeah, I've heard this before, which is an overall good thing because a game's recognizability, when it comes to the music, adds so much substance that the game needs to succeed. The last game I want to talk about is the good old tried and true Guilty Gear Strive. This one's actually kind of funny to me because fighting game music's history is meant for being in the background so you can just focus on the fight. But Guilty Gear Strive just takes all of that and throws it out the window by saying screw it and just making all of the songs bangers with crazy lyrics. I love this because when I'm playing the game and I hear Eno's theme for the 10,000th time, I still bob my head when I'm playing, and sometimes even hearing the music kind of messes me up. I get too enthralled or I'm thinking about the song, and I genuinely have made mistakes while playing the game just listening to the music. I have noticed that this doesn't really work for other fighting games. Street Fighter, for example, added a jukebox sort of system where you can play drive tickets for old game songs, and I have my favorite songs from Street Fighter 3 that play in the background every time that I play Street Fighter 6. And when I do this, I've noticed that when I'm playing, I don't ever hear the song in the background, and even if it's one of my favorite tracks, I just cannot hear it until the game's over. This is so crazy to me because it's almost the opposite in Guilty Gear Strive, and maybe it's because I have my volume slider up too high in Guilty Gear Strive, but man, do these character themes and other songs that play just slap. I love the guitar riffs with the over-the-top lyrics that don't really make sense most of the time. It just stands out and is a lot of fun, which some people are scared to do, and it makes the game unique. On the topic of Guilty Gear, before I end the video, I want to state that the video on fighting game mains is going crazy, so I appreciate all of the support, and I have some Guilty Gear and other fighting game content planned soon, so make sure you're ready for that. Anyways, thank you all for watching, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed and want to support me, and have a great rest of your day. God bless.